Yo, what's up guys, balik lagi bersama gue Reza Purnomo. Dan kali ini kita akan bermain game Genshin Impact teman-teman. Kita akan menyelesaikan bayangan ungu di padang belantara. Yaitu ini adalah quest dari Kazuha teman-teman nih, chapter 8. Oke, kita langsung gaskan, let's go. Kemana ini teman-teman? Wow. By the way, gue nggak pakai klik karena senjatanya nggak ada teman-teman. Gue kesalahan fatal sih kemarin, gue di banner Huto udah di banner itu udah gacha teman-teman. Kebetulan dapat senjata sama, aduh sangat sayang banget teman-teman. Gue kesalahan nih, ini buat pembelajaran gue ya tentang pentingnya nabung PT sama Primogem.
So many things have happened since then. Yeah, we've definitely. So, where should? Huh? What's up?
Wow, pedangnya keren teman-teman. What's up? Oke.
Doesn't wanna talk, huh? All right, let's convince him to calm down a little.
Kok gak mati cuy?
Huh? So you don't have a vision after all?
Rupanya kamu tidak punya passion.
I've mistaken you for someone else.
At the very least, you should make sure you've got the right person before you go attack. No, wait. Even
Pedangnya
if
keren
you've got
teman-teman.
the right person, you shouldn't go attacking them out of the blue.
Have you ever met someone by the name of Kaedehara Kazuha? He carries a sword just like you. I've also heard that he possesses an animal vision. That's none of your business. Never mind. You don't look like you know anything anyway. I'm wasting my time.
Gak jelas.
What the heck is this guy's problem? Well, one thing's for sure, right? Paimon has a few. Anyway, just to be on the safe side. Oh? What kind of hunch? A special connection? You mean, yeah, maybe a little. Anyway, there's no time to lose. Let's go tell Paimon heard that the Crux fleet is stocking up in Rito at the moment. Let's look.
Jalan yang aneh dan tak bersahabat. Oke, betul ya. Jauh enggak? Deket sih teman-teman. 400 yuk. Nyebrang pulau ya, gua kira enggak.
You're looking for Kazuha too, huh? Guess he must have done something impressive after all. Well, we took the small vessels into Rito on a routine supply. If it's because of that battle on Nizuchi Beach, Captain Beto had a great run there too, but I don't see her getting... Kazuha keeps to himself most of the time. In fact, there are times when he doesn't even listen to the captain, but...
Oh, so you still...
I've heard bits and pieces. Something about him... Is it really as big a deal as everyone's make? Really? Wow. When you put it like that, it all makes sense. He was called away earlier by some people from the Tenryok. I thought they'd come to arrest him at first. Turns out they couldn't have been...
Just a little while ago, this would have been completely... Thank you. Guess we'll go pay a...
All right then. I'll just...
Oke, let's go. Jauh nggak teman-teman? Karena ini dekat, kita dari jauh tuh teman-teman. Gue udah punya klit tapi senjatanya kurang sama artifactnya cuy. Bisa 140 tapi crit damage-nya 140, 150 lah paling tinggi. Terus apa? Crit rate-nya 67, terlalu banyak. With the wind. Oh, pergi ke markas Tenryu Obito. Wih, salah kartun.
Oh? It's you.
It's you, yeah.
Greetings. We were just discussing the repealing of the Vision Hunt decree. Since you're here, you're very welcome. We invited Mr. Kaedehara here to extend a gesture of goodwill. Your hard work has secured for us the agreeable state of affairs that we now enjoy. The Almighty Shogun has issued a large array of directives aimed at resolving, or at least easing. The Tri-Commission has made the recommendation to use this opportunity to... Regarding the history of the Kaedehara clan, I trust that you're already somewhat informed? In short, there was once a group of select bladesmiths who served the Shogun directly, responsible for upholding but
Ini
there came
kita
a time
udah
when
sampai
some
negeri
of these
Wano,
bladesmiths
teman-teman.
revolted and fled to Snezhnaya. We later learned that the whole misadventure had been secretly orchestrated by the Fatui, attributing all of the blame. Considering Mr. Kaedehara has once more made an outstanding contribution to Inazuma, in the interest of preventing further harassment of the bladesmith clans by the Fatui, we chose not to publicly release the findings.
This is a true honor. I am delighted to be in a position to receive. However, would I be correct to assume that this magnet...
I can assure you that nothing could be further from the truth. With the Kaedehara clan's reputation and occupation, you will be able to lead a safe and prosperous...
I have grown accustomed to life, yet my ancestors did indeed take great pride in...
I sense some hesitation in your words. Should you accept this offer, I imagine...
Malicious rumors?
Well, to some, the Muso no Hitotachi is something that can never be defeated. Also, eyewitnesses saw him using the power of Electro in addition to that of Anemo. As a result, the...
What? But that doesn't make sense.
That is correct. However, to some people, the idea of a single person wielding two elements at once is a more...
This is just one of many similar rumors. I am very uncomfortable with... But perhaps if the Shogunate is willing to publicly support me...
This is precisely why I encourage you to give our offer some serious...
In fact, let us put this discussion on hold for the moment. Well then.
Yikes! We nearly forgot about...
Why would such a dangerous individual be looking for me? No. This puzzles me. My fighting forms were taught to me by my family, based on techniques originally developed for blade testing. Over time, these techniques came to form something of a Kaedehara sword art. Those forms are quite different from the more practical ones typically used.
All the more reason to watch your back!
Indeed. He sounds highly aggressive.
In that case, I will send some men out immediately to search for him.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I must say, I am now very curious about this matter. And I will first join the Traveler in investigating the one who attacked him.
Very well. Please stay safe.
Come on. Let's go and track down your aggressor.
Let's go, man. Kita lacak, teman-teman.
The detective agency knows the most about what goes on in town. Let's see what Ryuji has to say.
200 sampai jauh, anjir. Tadi di hutan ya, tapi nggak di hutan ini. Kenapa di sini, teman-teman? Kenapa? Why? Why not? Wis.
Hey there!
Hey.
I'd like to ask you, do you know if anyone around here...
Aha! So this is the renowned
You are too kind. We are currently
Oh? You were targeted in a... Mr. Kaedehara is currently the talk... To be honest with you, our some of them were offering us millions of more...
Millions? Of Mora?
Please, accept my thanks.
Of course. No matter what, we only take on legit... Sorry, I got a little off topic. But I wouldn't know where to begin if we want to
Then let's put that connection aside. The Tenryo Commission had very...
It's true that the commissioners aren't clued up about every little thing that goes on out in the streets. If anyone had been out there attacking people, that would be assault.
Uh-oh. Looks like the...
I still find it difficult to believe that whoever attacked you hasn't been caught. Few people possess your prowess in battle. So unless you... I am well aware of your talents. There is no need to be It would cause me great grief to see someone become for the poor victim. This would be a completely
Don't worry, we'll find him.
It seems you are every bit the selfless hero they make you out to be, Mr. Kaedehara.
You flatter me.
You are much too humble. Oh, actually, there was. Let me tell you about it just in case.
Sure. During times.
All right then. Recently, one of them is a pretty well-known collector, surname.
Amanoma.
Right. Yuya, two grown men going missing. I recalled this because Amenoma Yuya is also an accomplished martial artist.
Understood. Though it seems highly unlikely to me.
Sure, can't hurt. We never know.
Thank you, Ryuji. We'll start by making.
Sounds good. All.
Oke, let's go. Pandai besi ya. Tapi kita harus pakai pedang, teman-teman. Bayonet aja ya. Asah pedang saya, bos. Asik. Kok papan sih? Bayonet gua barbar, cuy. Senjatanya, cuy.
Ah, if it isn't Kai.
Yes. The Kaedehara and Amenoma clans were both members of the Raiden. After I returned to Inazuma, I visited Mr. Amenoma. Let me quickly explain. The Raiden, the techniques of blade making were personally bequeathed to the Raiden Go. Unfortunately, a series of events led to the gradual decline of.
So sick.
It is a great pity indeed. As an example, the Amenoma, there is nothing mystical to our work. As for the art of the Kaedehara clan.
That's right.
That's
Ishin
right.
art strives for complete harmony between blade, for only a blade thus forged can capture and convey its maker's thought.
Indeed. Most samurai choose their blades. But
Kayak
an
Wano.
Ishin blade
Kayak
chooses
Emma.
its owner.
Let's
You
go.
are, without a doubt, the most worthy wielder of an Ishin blade. It gladdens me.
You overestimate me. My actions are guided by my. But let's get back on
Jangan lupa
topic.
ngopi.
The purpose of our visit today is to gather some information. We hope to assist with the investigation.
Ah, yes. My nephew. He didn't say a word before he left. But I've done what I can so far.
We heard that there was a collector involved.
Yes. On the morning, I believe he went to collect the item from Mr. Nagato. After that, yes. Strange, isn't it?
Do you have any thoughts?
If I had to guess, he's never been particularly interested. He is extraordinarily talented in
Truth be told, we have some info based on the evidence we have gathered.
What? No. Absolutely He is humble and kind. Yes. If there's what. But, with that said, I also cannot know what course of action he might be capable. Anyway, should you
Don't worry, you have our word.
Wah, janji. Ingat, janji seorang laki-laki
From the sound of that,
pasti
Paimon
akan
doesn't
ditepati,
think Yuya
cuy.
was the one who attacked.
Yes. It sounds as if something happened when. Let's pay a visit to the Naga.
Nagato. Oke, let's go. Si Bennett. Hello, Nagato.
I'm very sorry, but we cannot afford to pay what we owe right now. My husband has gone missing, and I'm still trying to.
No, you misunderstand us. We are here to help with the investigation.
I see. I'm sorry you have to see me in the.
I'm afraid we don't have any new information. With this in mind, can we perhaps ask some questions about your.
For example, Paimon's struggling to understand why a collector would be strapped for more.
That's a long story. He'd always get so animated when he was showing them to me. I knew nothing about the items myself, but everything was fine when we first got married. But as time went by, things changed for the worse.
Uh-oh. What happened?
He lost his sense of restraint. He started buying more and more things, and even resorted to borrowing money. Our expenses really spiraled out of control when he started getting interested in weapons. It was awful. There were days when he'd spend hours down at the warehouse admiring his weapons, even as debt. He wouldn't sell them, wouldn't even touch them. Just sat there staring at them. I'm happy he has a hobby, and I'm willing to support him. but making ends meet has to come first.
Nih, nggak boleh
I've
sampai itu
tried
ya
to- on the
teman-teman.
last
Kalau
day that I
kolektor
saw him, I gave him an ultimatum.
ini terlalu
said-
barbar sih.
If he refused to sell his collection,
Whoa!
And that led to an argument.
Ya,
actually it didn't. Generally, he's a quiet man who likes to go with the flow. On most things, you must understand, I never would have dreamed of threatening him with divorce if after I said those words, he froze and was silent for a long time. When he finally spoke, his voice was so
bagus.
meek and pitiful that I felt an urge to take everything back. But then what? If I didn't draw the line, what would happen to our family? Had I not indulged his bad habits, we wouldn't have found ourselves in such. And I also don't know
Ini malah
if he
curhat
had actually
teman-teman.
come to his
Urusan rumah
senses,
tangga ya.
or if he. The next thing I heard was that our warehouse had caught fire, and both he.
I see. Amin Omayuya came to purchase a weapon from Mr. Nagato. During the sale,
At first, I assumed they must have gotten into an argument over. But my husband has never been one to negotiate. He never even haggles when he's out buying groceries, so it's hard. I don't know. He just disappeared after the. Perhaps he's too afraid to come home now that all his collectibles have been lost in the fire, and he's got no way to pay.
Iya betul.
Even though I'm still a little mad at him, as long as he's willing to turn over a new leaf.
please don't get upset. There could be more to if collecting things is a habit that Mr. Nagato had his whole life, but the information we gathered from the other side suggests Amin Omayuya is also.
A little confusing.
Let's try a change of scenery. And rest assured, we'll notify.
Thank you so.
Cepat pulang, siap bos. Pergi kemana?
Based on the information we've gathered so far, I can only surmise that the fire at the warehouse likely played a part in how Do you have any thoughts?
Well, nope, never mind. Paimon's brain needs to rest for a while. Over to.
That is the most likely conclusion based on everything we know. However, in this case, only one of the parties would have struck if this is indeed what happened. And the one fact that I keep coming back to is that Mr. Nagato, being heavily in debt, the more I ponder it, the more puzzling it becomes. Right. Although the time frame seems to Amin Omayuya lacks a key distinguishing feature of the attacker.
Darn! We thought we could get two birds with one.
Let's keep going. If we can solve the case, both Mr. Aminoma and
Okay, but
let's head out of the city and check out the warehouse.
Oke, let's go teman-teman. Pergi ke gudang tempat terjadinya kebakaran. Let's go. Deket desainer ya? Kok hilang?
Wait,
Wait.
I hear something ominous in the wind.
oh, this
Ya, ini
must be
Anemo
another
ya.
one of those sounds that, as sketchy as that whole thing seems, you did put it to good use when we were chasing down.
Now I'm picking up a strong scent in addition to the sound.
Bau.
It's right around.
Hits. Ada klip-klip. Hits. Oh ini?
But there's nothing here.
It's gone now, but I can still sense it felt
Okay.
very much like that ancient presence in Inazuma. Indeed. But this we should remain vigilant.
Oke, let's go gelut cuy.
So it's an
The force is definitely the source of the Tatarigami energy has long. Judging from the concentration, I would have to.
Mrs. Nagato said her.
It could well be that he was already under the influence, from what I've been told. But most will develop a stubborn streak upon. Mr. Nagato had an interest in collecting to begin with.
So what should we do next?
Step back. I'll open the door and take a look. If we don't open this door, we can move. No,
Okay,
you
sip.
needn't worry. Both of us have faced far greater danger.
Oke. Songong, dia nggak tahu kita teman-teman. Sebahaya apa ya?
What's down there?
Everything's buried in debris. It looks like the fire caused a cave-in, reducing the entire warehouse to rubble.
That was too scary.
All we can do now is keep searching in the two ordinary humans. entangled with the tatarigami.
Oh, yang tadi ya.
I fear much. Yes, let's go. Quiet your mind and focus on what you sent.
Yang tadi kayaknya teman-teman samurai ini aura gelap. Putih, bau. Bau. Lihat di mapnya ada anjir. Gak masuk akal, Cok. Kita fokus jangan lihat map ya. Karena terlalu gampang cuy kalau melihat map. Oh. Set.
From this point, the trail appears to the main source of the tatarigami energy continued on into the distance. But a small portion remained quite possible.
Ada dua, enggak satu doang nih. Set.
Look at all those hilly trails.
Kita ke kanan dulu ya. Nah nih.
Something seems to be drawing their attention. Let's take a closer look.
Imba, gila. Inma. Gak kerasa anjir.
Animal test 6308.
Cok. Gue terlalu meremehkan anjir dilempar, Cok. Jangan meremehkan ya, teman-teman. Gak boleh. Bangke, Cok. Ini susah, Cok. Gua udah jarang main, cuy. Dilempar kayak gini kena mental ya.
Absorption test.
Bangke emang.
By the looks of it, a letter written on a
Oh, amenomu Yuya. Okay.
According to this letter, a conflict arose because Yuya started the fire that destroyed the warehouse and wounded Mr. Nagato.
So,
He was not only mortally wounded, but also under the heavy influence of Tatari. Whatever traces there may have been of his fate beyond. Yes. Right now, if Amenoma Yuya is attacking us,
right. So let's get moving.
I wouldn't be surprised if he, too, fell prey for a practitioner of the martial arts. The easiest, all the clues that at first seemed disparate. I have a hypothesis that, if it's correct, not
Wait. You figured it out?
I believe so. But it's something on with the search. We must stay
Ini suara itunya. Kanan kiri cuy. Tuh. Kepala gue jadi ngiang-ngiang cuy. Piu. Woi, set. Sono ya. Set. Oke, gas. Set.
Why here?
I'm not sure. Show yourself.
Oh, yang tadi kan?
Kaedehara Kazuha. It's you, at last.
Aha! So what's your problem, huh? What?
Indeed, there should be no enmity between us. If it is Amenoma Yuya that stepped. But what if instead of facing Amenoma Yuya, we are in fact facing the blade in his hand?
Pedang nyala-nyala teman-teman. Enma. Let's go.
Now that you mention it, it is giving off a strange... Whoa! Surely...
Tatarigami energy often lodges itself within physical objects.
Ini
Then
hakinya
works.
teman-teman.
The blade has resided in Mr. Nagato's warehouse for many years, affecting his state of mind, or rather, as a means to occupy Ameno.
You're sharper than I thought. You've already... Many years ago, I was forged by a famed bladesmith of the Ishin tradition. I was as a descendant of the Kaedehara clan. You should be able to guess our great...
I presume it has something to do with the ride.
Indeed. At that point in time, he was a bladesmith of great
Ya, kita
renown,
dapat pedang ini
a
keren
master
banget.
of his craft. There was nothing. And sure enough, in the end, he achieved what he had set out to do.
Wah.
All of his life's work. He not only bestowed upon me the greatest of strength. In her conceit, the Raiden Shogun lost not only the single most perfect
So, swords?
The people of the time in which I was born never believed I had that. After the death of my creator, I decided to leave Snezhnaya and began I seek but one thing. To face the full force of the Raiden Shogun's blade and prove my power.
So Amenome Yuya was not your first. Tell me, what happens to those you've...
My hosts? Who cares what happens to them? When they got tired or injured or unusable, I hopped to the next one in line. All I needed them for.
You're awful.
After I returned to Inazuma, I decided to bide my time in Nagato's warehouse until at long last, I'm approaching my journey's destination. By Amenoma Yuya's body, I have found you. Kaedehara Kazuha, you stood against the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi.
Ya.
Now, give your...
Wah, ini kayak Zoro dan Enma dipertemukan, teman-teman. Wih, sit. We need win. 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 We need win.
Animal test 63
Kita isi tuh, bro. Kasuhannya kita isi.
And sever that divine light.
Kok nggak ngisi-ngisi, teman-teman?
Let's light it up. Teamwork is true. Let me weave you a
Mana, Cok?
verse.
Ya, jauh banget.
Cross over.
Ya, salah, Cok. 5-nya ribet ya.
Clouds high. The bird...
Ya, 5-nya ribet, Cok, gua.
Stand in my
Biasa
way,
pakai 4
or I
doang.
will strike you down too.
Your bluff's fooling no one.
Lost. I can never lose. It is this body. Even if you defeat me here, the one who falls will not be me. He is but a puppet that can be replaced. I can take a new... The end result is the same. I will end this and even if I were to lose my physical form, by any means necessary, and any...
Your fighting style. It is indeed the forms of
Ishin
Ishin
art.
art. But from your movements, I sense only hatred and arrogance, as well as a thinly veiled mania.
Really? You can tell all that just from his moves?
As I've mentioned before, the forms of Ishin art convey the user's thoughts and feelings. Since the blade is currently possessing Amenome Yuya's body, if you ask me, the mania is...
Are you trying to claim that I am help on his deathbed? He passed to me, all in that regard.
Because all of that is in the past. I've been wondering why you've not caused more trouble in all the years that you've been in Inazuma. Now that I've seen inside your mind, everything... After all the time that's passed, you have grown weak.
Oh, that's right. Paimon remembers now.
Only when Mr. Nagato witnessed his wife's distress.
And what of it?
Well, that brings me to my second point. You were determined to fulfill your maker's ambition, whatever the cost. But this ambition is too grand, and I think you realized your limitations long ago. But the way I see it, what began as an ambition has long since...
What would you know about any of this?
You returned to Inazuma to prove the unparalleled brilliance of Ishin art. But to make this arduous journey, even if you were to sever that divine light, is this truly the outcome that your maker would have... Sure, you inherited the secrets of Ishin art. But even as you made your journey to honor this legacy, how could you possibly unleash the full potential of Ishin art when you act in perfect discordance with the
Silence, you blabbering fool! I must achieve my goal. I will concede that you are most perceptive. You see my predicament clearly.
And you should face reality.
Easy for you to say. Facing reality, I have no need of anything that would stand in my way. Not... It is pointless to argue further.
How stubbornly you stick to your word. I do not believe for a second that you can challenge the almighty Shogun in...
What? Surely you're not planning...
Very well. Then find yourself some. Once we have dealt with them,
Oke, kita
And as for
1v1
your
aja
end
ya,
of the
pakai
bargain,
pedang.
If you
I accept.
Do this, Kazuha!
This is the only way to save Ame no Mayuya. If we don't do this, the cursed blade's strength is currently very weak, and I sense he's hesitating. This suggests his heart is... The power of the Tatarigami lies in intensifying existing obsessions. This is the reason Mr. Nagato and Ame no Mayuya fell prey to it. Even if things take a turn for the worse, I still have... We have a chance here to save an innocent victim.
Your disdain for me betrays your woeful ignorance. I agreed to this bet now.
Widih. Ini elemen bestari gila sih. Kazuha. Kazuha. Tahan. Tahan Kazuha. Sudah merasuk ke dalam tubuh dan sukma. Let's go.
Kazuha?
I'm okay.
Lemas cok baik-baik
I
saja.
felt a little dizzy at first, but only... It's all right. So far, this was as I expected. I will.
What should we do next? Have you got a...
We find some enemies.
Nah, kita cari
Although this
musuh.
blade has endured much turmoil, it probably... If a blade built for Ishin art cannot enter a state of harm, if he wants to avoid reality, then we need to...
Wait a minute! Paimon remembers hearing about something from the... Since the Takasukasa clan abandoned that secret base,
All right.
what about Amenoma?
The blade says he'll let Ame no Mayuya trail us silently. Although he hasn't regained his own consciousness.
Are we sure this is a good idea? Okay, fine.
Oke, let's go. Lah mana pedang gua, cok? Gua pengen pakai pedangnya, cuy. Let's go. Kampret, cuy. Wah, di atas gunung, teman-teman. Di atas gunung. Menaiki lembah. Oh ya, kita harusnya pakai Ayaka ya. Oh, ini domain nih, teman-teman.
Adventure time.
Sepertinya ya. Mana cuy? Nah kan bener kampret.
Off we go.
Kita pakai itu aja teman-teman. Apa? Ayaka ya, karena pedang cuy dia cuy. Nah, sisanya Rosaria aja sih kayaknya.
Sooner we're done, the
Rosaria gue kebuil gak? Oke, aman ya. Aman, yuk let's go. Hehehe. Kita duel pedang cuy sama kami satu Ayaka. Ya Anemo cuk. Gue gak bawa anjir. Gak apa-apa lah. Oh ya ada Kazuha cuy satu ya. Wis. Wait.
Journey to me.
Preset Isin Blade. Attack cuy ya. Saat normal atau pujiannya mengenai musuh akan melepaskan. Oh iya ini perlu izin attack ya berarti ya. Oke. Bintang 4 teman-teman. Artifaknya full noblesse ya. Ya 3 oke. No bad. 27 cuy. Gede banget cuy. Oh ya attack-nya gede banget ya cuy. 59 doang ya crit rate crit damage-nya. Nih, dia bagusnya gini teman-teman tuh. Oh. Bagusnya Kazuha itu. Efeknya biasa aja sih. Nah itu yang bagusnya dari Kazuha tuh. Bisa blender ya. Yuk. Nah, satu Ayaka. Api lah gato.
How are you feeling? You okay?
Iya,
Alright. The blade is performing largely as I expected. Having gone so long without proper use and maintenance, it's become very difficult to use. Though he's making every effort to persevere, I do not think he can last much longer.
Something else on your mind?
How strange. Let's keep going.
Oke, let's go. Kita cari peti dulu teman-teman. Jangan lupa ya, peti number 1. Tapi nggak ada, ya udah let's go. Gua kayak udah pernah kesini teman-teman. Nah ini peti teman-teman, namanya peti nih. Ada primojem? Tidak, ada 5 doang. Tapi nggak apa-apa. Peti nggak ada. Oke, let's go. Yo, ya biar keluarin api dulu teman-teman. Nah, baru kita blender. Yo, Set. Sini.
One with nature.
Yo, gila.
Time to go.
Let's get down to business.
Sini nih, keluar api sini.
Into the wind. One with wind and cloud.
Ses. Mati semua. Gila, kece gak tuh? Kazuha kampret emang.
Something's up with the blade.
I can sense that his strength is slowly fading away. He cannot hold out much longer. If he keeps persisting, he will likely break apart at any moment.
What would that do to Amanome Yu?
I will be careful with it. He also says he does not have any plans to give up easy. He's still trying to achieve.
Oke. In the wind. Tidak ada. Peti tidak ada peti teman-teman. Tidak ada peti di sini. Oke, tidak ada. Kita langsung maju teman-teman. Peti kanan kiri, no. Let's go. Peti kanan kiri. Oh, kanto. Ini ya teman-teman, kamu jangan menyepelekan insting Kazuha teman-teman. Dan ngeluarin api dulu ya. Tapi udah ada api sih samping. Oke, dia push, yoi, terbakarlah kau, push, yoi, kamehameha, sukses, akhir. Slow-mo-nya itu loh, cuy. Kayak apa ya? Kayak parkour.
The shine's grown a bit dimmer.
Perhaps this time we'll finally.
True form? What are you talking? Is this the same blade as before? It looks like a piece of junk.
If you choose to continue in the state you're in, you wouldn't even be able to beat Samurai and Kairagi, much less the almighty Shogun. Maybe you did truly wield power to rival the Shogun's light when first forged. But the long journey from Snezhnaya back to Inazuma has left you back and barely need stating.
Oh, dari sensei ya?
Your ambition is a flight of fancy. I finally figured out why it was that you agreed to my bet. You wanted to reach a state of harmony with me. For perhaps then you would still be able to wield but regrettably we are nothing alike. I will never understand your obstinacy and cruelty, nor can I empathize with the one who made the only one who truly understood you had already passed away.
Here they are! Take them down!
Where do they keep coming from? Yup, we can help this.
Don't worry, I'll use my own blade.
Yoi.
It's just more.
Pedangnya itu apa ini?
Let's get down to business.
Kazuha attack juga ya. Yes, fillet blade. Oh, kece teman-teman. Saat mengenai target ya, attack. Oke, attack ya dia milihnya teman-teman. Gila gak tuh? In the wind. Gila tuh. Alah. Mati. Kok gak bawa healer cuy?
You fought way better with your own sword.
You are a true Kaedehara in flesh and in spirit. Though we fought briefly together, you have seen me for who I really am. No one knew anything of my story throughout my travels, nor did I tell it to anyone. You are the first person to know the truth.
Jadi psikolog bagus ya
I thought
Kazuha.
that if I could achieve Ishin harmony with you, perhaps there would still be a ray of hope.
But in this too, you have failed.
Indeed. No matter how hard I tried, I could not attain that perfect harmony that too much time has passed. My physical state is poor, and without proper maintenance, I can only disguise my true appearance behind. Yours is the blade that took on the Muso no Hitotachi. And what a magnificent blade it is.
Actually, this is just a generic blade that I picked up during my travels in Liyue.
Apa?
What?
Forging and maintenance are both important
Oke,
for a blade, but they are not
betul.
everything.
Betul cuy, ini menempa dan perawatan pedang.
This blade has traveled the land with me for many years, and we have formed a close bond during that time. Plus, in the moment, skill, blade, determination, and desire. There is something else I must tell you. Though your maker may not have been aware, your ability to possess your own tatarigami is a malevolence from the ancient past. It is the source of your mania. Though you tried to cooperate with me while I was wielding you, the part of you driven by tatarigami was constantly trying to seize control of my body.
I sensed it, but I couldn't change it.
I resisted its temptations because I wanted to save Amenoma Yuya. But I do not know. I feel a great sense of regret for you. Since you embarked on a journey, the moment you embarked on this journey, you lost the only person who could have ever unleashed your true potential. You have known this for a long time.
He gave me everything. My life, my form, my consciousness. How could I possibly deny? I said to him, "Do not worry. From here on, I shall..." How could I go back?
Aww.
I believe our bet is now settled. I have nothing further to say.
Where are you going, Kazuha?
He now has neither the ability nor the motivation to cause further harm.
Oke, siap. Bro, thank you bro. Biasanya ada PT teman-teman, tapi nggak ada ya. Serius ini tidak ada PT di sini teman-teman. Wow. Ya, let's go.
When I touched the hilt for the first time, it's as if I was transported to a bladesmith lay quietly on the bed. His frail face barely visible under a newly forged blade lay by his side, listening attentively to his final word.
Wow.
Indeed. While in exile in Snezhnaya, the bladesmith eventually learned the truth behind everything that had happened. He spent the rest of his life in the forge, not to vent his frustration and hatred. He felt intense regret at being tricked by the Fatui, but he could never again return to his homeland. His sole wish was to one day return his single, proudest, so he instructed this sentient blade to find a way back to Inazuma, no matter how long or how hard the journey. All he wanted to show was that they once shone brilliantly as blade and smith, that they were still worth.
So but after that, the blacksmith's intentions were worked by the Tatarigami.
Right. I believe the bladesmith might never have known that the power he worked with was that of This blade has committed unforgivable atrocities, but only because it lost its original master. No one was there. Yes. Time would not wait or stop because of his determination. He seems to have calmed down, though.
Oke, buat kita aja cuy. Buat gua aja sini. Attack kan buat Bennett. Bisa.
When I look back at the past, I once told him that I would pay any price but darkness and slaughter. Not only did I fail to fulfill.
You are finally seeing reality clearly.
Since we agreed to the terms of the bet, I will honor the agreement and release Amenoma, but I still cannot bring myself to. So, may I ask you to help me
Hey! Now you're adding yours into the mix too?
It has to be done in this order. At least hear what I have to say. And if you don't agree, my physical form, as well as the knowledge I possess, should still be of some value to you.
His attitude has grown a lot. What do you think, Kazuha? Should we give him a chance?
Let's hear it.
Thank you all. When I was first forged, my maker was already terminally ill. Alas, after that, he never wrote, nor have I ever had the chance to prove my fights were devoid of any noble meaning. They were merely the next step in my never. You are a fine warrior. I would like to request your hand in battle.
Oh? And
I will release Amenoma Yuya and restore his consciousness. Perhaps after that, you must have plenty of reasons to both hate me and desire a good fight.
Understood. Then let's start by waking him up and seeing if he has the stamina and will to fight.
I see. He used my body to I utterly despise him and his actions. But since he stayed true to your agreement by releasing me, if a duel can help to set this state of affairs in order, I do not wish to be a mere victim.
There's no need to worry. We'll vouch for your innocence.
Thanks for your help. Who knows how this would have ended without your intervention?
All right, then let's move on. More Ronin could appear at any moment. We can't. In any case, for a final duel, I think we...
Serius dan megah. Oh, ini yang kita tunggu-tunggu, teman-teman. Ini yang kita tunggu-tunggu, teman-teman. Remote chip. Let's go yuk. Nah, keluar ya. Ratus anjir, jauh banget.
This reminds Paimon a bit of the Crux Clash.
Crook Clash ya.
Yep, we still can't let our guard down. Even still. Even if he's Are you ready?
Ready? Okay. Successor of Ishin art. Kaedehara Kazuha.
Kazuha. Yoi.
Successor of Amenoma art. Amenoma Yuya.
Honored to cross blades with you.
It is my honor also.
Masih sama attack kah? Wow. Attack-nya 0%, teman-teman. Jadi dia nggak ada kekuatannya ya. Tuh. Cuma base attack-nya doang. Ini besinya ini nggak ada itu. Jadi 17 tadi 2000-an, teman-teman. Gue masih inget ya. Wis. Kita nggak boleh pakai itu. Hilang, teman-teman. Hilang. Wih, set. Tuh, wah, gak, 4. Yoi.
Time to go.
Set. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Tuh, wah, gak, 4. Cis. Yes, gila. Terkena kita, boom, boom. Tuh, wah, gak, 4, 6, 7, 8, set. Set. Set, set. Boom. Biar cepet ya, nggak ada air ya.
Time to go.
Wind strike. Push.
Fallen leaves adorn my night.
Wes gila. Sis, yoi. Boom. Sis. Gila.
Thank you for the
Bawahnya itu loh
experience.
bisa keren teman-teman.
Although he appears battered and broken, in your hands it seems he's regained a glimmer of brilliance. His sense of savage cruelty has completely faded away.
You also fought well. I'm sure he relished the... There are a few things that I shall leave him to tell.
I must apologize to you for...
You need not seek my forgiveness, nor do I have... It is too late for all of that.
I do not wish for forgiveness. I strayed far from the straight. I beseech you.
Yes, I too...
Thank you, successor of Amenoma art.
Wis.
This blade has also told me that he
Dubbingnya
has
keren
another
teman-teman.
wish. Maybe we can go back there together.
What does he want?
I'm not sure, but
Oke. Kita ke penempa lagi teman-teman. Denganmu
Off we go.
aku bahagia.
Adventure.
Kita langsung gacha kazuha ya. Yoi. Boom.
I am sorry to have troubled you.
A prized Ishin blade. Turned weapon that controls the human... But I have some good news as well.
Really? Is he
Yes. Badly wounded. And now that Yuya is back...
I think I know what you want to do.
What's wrong, Kazuha? Is the blade
Yes. He said he wants to take control of me.
What? No way! Hasn't it learned?
He tells me that he's thought of another way to fulfill his maker's wish. And he assures me that he won't use my body. I have decided to let him do.
But he...
Thank you. I will explain. Okay. I am ready. Let it...
Wis.
My power is almost spent. Without him, my eventual demise is inevitable. But if I abandon the future to give everything I have in this moment, my physical form can be forged anew.
Everything. You mean...
Yes, the cost is my entire consciousness.
Wih, di tempat cuy. Pakai anemo dong. Barbar.
You were right. There's nothing that I can accomplish now. But there's still a chance for Ishin art. Once remade, I will be a valuable resource for your studies. Ishin lives on, and its finest hour is yet to come. Even if I am not the one to prove its might to the Shogun, as long as it is an Ishin blade, crafted by Kaedehara hands,
Ya.
it will still fulfill his final wish. Thank you.
Putra dari klan Kaedehara.
Over the years, my real name has been forgotten by all. I'm ashamed to utter it, yet it remains strong in my mind. Kagotsurube Ishin. This
Wih
name
deh.
is now yours to keep.
Rest in peace.
So, that's why he said it had to be done and his consciousness will disappear forever.
Kagotsurube Ishin. It seems like deep down he disapproved of his own actions. Only in the final moments, before his...
Seems like he really...
The same fervent ambition that gave him the motivate... Speaking for myself, I understand. Hearing his wish to rival the divine light touched something inside of me. Just as the sight of those who fought to repeal the Vision Hunt decree did. Your quest to face the gods and trace your sibling inspired after everything I've seen.
Oh,
I will continue to support you from this point on. Know that you will...
Wait! Shouldn't...
Oh, you're right. And it's also time to give...
Oke. Deng, belum ya.
Off we go.
7.
You've returned. I hear that the Tenryou Commission is already
Wow, you sure...
Then we needn't recount all the details again. Now, as to your earlier offer, I wish to give you my answer.
What's this?
Wis.
Kagotsurube Ishin, a weapon crafted using a long-lost blade forging art of the Kaedehara clan.
Kagotsurube
By
Isin.
means of a series of fortuitous events, I was able to recover and restore him. I also promised him that I will continue to study, and so it looks like I will likely continue with my journey across the nations, learning more about this blade as I go.
Oke.
I see.
The Kaedehara clan has always been a family of bladesmiths, so it is only were I to accept your goodwill, I may find myself embroiled in conflicts between the shogunate and Sangonomiya.
You misunderstand. That was...
I am aware, but I still desire to continue.
Very well. I can understand. Then let's pretend this. However, if you should ever change your mind or find yourself in need of the...
Great.
Where will you travel to next?
I'll probably... As for my next destination, let's see where the wind takes
Karena ini
me.
bagusnya pelujian attack-nya itu dapat bonus teman-teman, bonus damage ya. Oke teman, jalan yang aneh dan tak bersahabat. Oke teman-teman, wih, pedang baru cu, mana cu? Oke teman-teman, langsung saja kita upgrade ya, pedang baru cuy. Gila. Dan apa nanti aja ya, di next video aja teman-teman sepertinya ya. Pedang baru, tadi apa lagi? Udah ya teman-teman. Mungkin kita bonus gacha aja untuk teman-teman di sini. Kita ambilin semua ini buat artifact ya, keren ya. Ini ada line up party, bukan primogem ya teman-teman. Gua kira primogem gitu. Kita klaim-klaim aja. Wih ini mantep nih artifactnya teman-teman. Nah udah kelar. Terus kita lanjut F3 dan kita gacha cuy. Karena gue pengen ningguang ya. Gue C6 dapet ningguang. Let's go. Oke, gue habis dapat itu kemarin, jadi nggak usah berharap jauh ya teman-teman. Oke, cuma sedikit doang tapi nggak apa-apa. Let's go terakhir. Oke, tidak ada harapan, bung. Oke, sekian aja teman-teman untuk video dari gue Reza Purnomo. Sampai jumpa di video selanjutnya. See you, goodbye.
Benny's Adventure Team, assemble!